Why are the different jathebandia in existence, such as this is what the person whoever's wrote it as Taksal is for Sant, Santya, and Nihang, Sipahi, survival. So they kind of answered it in a way. There's different. So jathebandia, we've, especially I think in England more so, if you go to India, there's not such a big thing about it really. If those of you that go to India, there's not a massive thing, oh that's that person. Here we seem to, especially in the Northern, it seems to be more so. I think these guys have seen longer than me over the last 15-20 years or whatever. It's become a massive thing, but really it's just different. They're all part of one. If you look to India again, if we look to our roots, they all have a lot of praying with each other. So you do have Taksal, or where people go, and a lot of that is learning about Gurbani, Santya, and Gatha, etc. But it doesn't mean that they're not Sipahis too, because times are now saying in these modern times, I'd like to see anyone give me a better Sipahi than them. So at the end of the day, it's not all just one. In the same way, in the Hang Singh Jathebandia, they do also do Santya and they do Gatha, etc. So they're just different. Like people describe it like you have a garden and you have different flowers. They might slightly look different, but they all together make that flower, the garden whole. But then if we make it a thing of that jathebandia, we're not going to speak to them, or then some people say, well, if you haven't taken Amrit from our jathebandia, you can't sit with us, you can't do Simran with us, then that's obviously wrong, isn't it? Because with our jathebandis, then we shouldn't differentiate, we shouldn't not speak to people because they're not. So like, you should have praying with everyone, but they're just there. How did they come into existence? Sadhguru Sahib, you might not have set them up into. Thing is, the word jathebandi we've made into a different word. Jatheband basically just means to come together, doesn't it? A group of people coming together. But we've made it into a different word to what it actually is. A jatha is just a group of people. So if a group of people are getting together and they're doing Santya, that is a jatha of people. If we all together got together here and said we're going on a yatra of Glasgow, that is, we could say we've got a jatheband, we've come together. So we've made these words, just like we made the word dera or we made the word sant, into something that it isn't. So it's not necessarily negative things. And also Sadhguru Sahib started obviously Taksal for that Santya, and the Hang Singh, the missiles, they started because they went to Jang, but a lot of the people who were involved in the Shahidi missiles had also stayed in Taksal. It's like a crossover, so they're just there as different parts, but the ultimate Gursikh obviously has a bit of everything in them anyway, so just take the gun from everyone.